Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Avalon, and today I thought I'd do something a little bit special. So, as you can probably tell, I've got a little something, something right here. Just a little something nice. And I thought I'd show you guys some of my more favorite kind of stuff, and we would carry on from there. So, yes, as you've probably guessed, some of my favorite things are sharp and pointy and kind of scary to some people. But this one is made of wood. So this is my European medieval arming sword trainer. It is made out of solid wood. It is actually made out of several pieces. I could not for the life of me tell you who made it or like how much I paid for it because I've forgotten, but I can tell you that I got it at a uh, medieval heritage festival in my local city, which is really cool because they have it like every year. And yeah, it was like a Viking festival kind of thing, and it was really cool. And being a Viking myself, or being a descendant of those who would go Viking, yes, Viking is a verb. It was something that they would do. They would go Viking. It, and yeah, that's a discussion for a whole nother video. You can probably find a link to like Scalagrim or one of those guys who are a little bit more knowledgeable on the subject than I am. Um, but yeah. Uh, Next would be my Joe, which I'm just going to continuously move it through the frame here so you guys get a pretty good idea at how long it is. Um, I'm about 6'1", so when I stand up, this thing comes about to here on me. So it's about like I don't even know how long anymore. It's decently sized. It's like yeah, it's a good couple of feet, if not a good couple of yards. Like maybe no, not a good couple of yards. Maybe like 4 feet, something like that. I don't know. But yeah, I train with that along with this, my Bokto. Some people call it a Bokto, some people call it a Bokken. It really does not matter. It is up to you or your teacher or what have you to determine what you want to call it. Hell, some people just call it a wooden katana, which you're not wrong. It it's made of wood. It's made to represent a katana. Um, and yeah, it's uh, made to simulate the length and feel of a real katana. I mean, it's a little bit off for weight wise, but otherwise, it's pretty good. This one does have a leather guard or stuba, um, and that's mainly so that if I'm training with someone else and we collide here, like if I'm training with the Joe here and it connects onto my guard, it's not going to break my guard, or it's not going to hurt my hands. It's just going to connect with the guard, or it's going to bounce off. And I'm not going to be mad because somebody took out my knuckle. Let's see here. Let's show you guys some knives next. So, this first knife is my ritual knife. Being a spiritual pagan, I have a ritual blade. So, this one's got eagle fittings on it, which I'm not sure how well that's actually making out, but it's got eagles on it, which is really nice. Um, It's also got this faux wood material here and brass fittings. All the fittings on it are totally made of brass. The blade itself is stainless, and it does have a slight edge to it, and it's nice. I like it. It's one of my favorites. I really like it. Some people like their books, some people like their movies. I like my knives. um, Another set of knives that I really like are my throwing knives. These are a 3 set of Blue Angel throwing knives. I got them as a gift from one of my coworkers for Christmas one year, or Yule, or whatever religious holiday you celebrate. That's around the 25th of December. So yeah, they are slightly sharp. They have a rainbow finish on them. I wonder why he decided to get the ones with a rainbow finish. Yeah. But whatever. Next would be my black spring-assisted karambit knife. You guys probably won't be able to make these out very well because my camera sucks, but it's meant to be kind of a trick knife, and I'm moderately decent at it, but I did put this through my thumb right there. I actually had to get about 3 stitches in my thumb right on the knuckle here. Yeah, it was not a good time. I'm not sure how well that's picking up, so I might make another video all about my scar, or like all about my scars that I've gotten through training and stuff like that. This next knife is a tactical stinger, which is very nice. It's got a rubber handle. It's all black. Some of the finish is starting to come off, as you can probably tell there, but otherwise it's a very nice knife. I really enjoy it. I particularly like using it for 5-finger fillet and stuff like that because I'm an idiot. My last knife that I have here is just a run-of-the-mill Guidsman knife. I use it as like my regular box cutter or my like everyday kind of knife. I need to get some Loctite for it because the hinge is starting to come out, because I was an idiot and took WD-40 to it. Don't do that. Alright, let's see. Next, I will show you guys my fencing foil. I am a foil fencer, yes I know, lame. But I have a pistol grip on my foil versus something a little bit more standard like a tennis grip or something. And a tennis grip is something a little bit more like this. Like it's kind of, I mean, it will come out a good ways more so that you can kind of hold it like a tennis racket, but just for the sake of demonstration. This one is a pistol grip, so I can move my wrist a little bit more freely and I can respond a little bit quicker. It is an electric foil versus something like a dry foil. An electric foil means that I can actually take this one to tournaments and to competitions and stuff like that, and I can actually compete with it because it has like wires and components and stuff like that to hook up to the equipment for tournaments, and it's also got the little button buzzer thing there, which is really nice. Ah! Hitting my laptop over there. Um, so yeah, and a dry foil is pretty much the exact same thing, but it does not have the electrical components inside. It's meant to just use for training or use for like film or stuff like that, because it's pretty much the exact same thing except for no electrical components, and instead of the button tip, they have these small little rubberized tips, kind of like those erasers that you would get at school that would fit on the top of your or the back end of your pencil, if you know what I'm talking about. I don't have one with me right now, otherwise I'd show you. Alright, on to the last few blades. Okay, so this one, before I actually show you, um, it used to be a regular sword, but I got really frustrated with it one day and broke off all the fittings and such, because I wasn't sure whether the quality of it was wall hanger or whether it was an actual good quality blade. I mean, I did end up paying about $250 for this, which I'm sure you're like, $250? Why the hell would it be a wall hanger if it was $250? Well, yeah. Um, it had very poor craftsmanship on it, so I just took everything off, and I plan to refit everything eventually. But out of utter frustration one day, I broke the scabbard for it, and I broke the handle. So I need to make a completely new handle, and I need to make a new scabbard for it, which is easier said than done. Now, on to the main event. It is a high carbon steel blunt katana. Um, Once I get everything set up for it, I will be putting on a new handle for it. That way. I'll be putting on a new handle, and I will be putting on, like, building a new scabbard for it. And I might even put an actual edge on it, because you can probably tell this thing is wonky. Like it's seen some use, and got a really bad it's got really bad bends in it, as you can probably tell. So I need to straighten it out, and I need to make new things for it. So I might just make this into a new style of sword altogether. I'm still debating that. But to do that, I need the proper equipment and yada yada yada. Alright, last two. So this one right here, this guy is a little bit longer than my Joe. So just continual movement. Oh, it's gonna hit the wall, it's gonna hit the wall. Alright. So this is a tactical Naginata made by M48 and United Cutlery. It's a very nice blade here, if I can pop it open. And it is sharp. It does have a pretty mean edge on it. I mean, it's still not as sharp as I would want it, but it is fairly sharp. It can do some damage, so for the sake of not wanting to put this through my hand, I'm going to put the cover back on it as I mess around with it. If I can, did that pop? Alright, so yeah, it's a very nice blade. You can probably find the actual ad video for it. Fair warning, it's a little obnoxious. But it's very nice. It's a little bit heavier than what I thought it was going to be with it being such a short blade. The blade itself is only about 10.5 inches, if I remember right. Um, and like traditionally, a Naginata's blade would be a lot longer, like double, if not triple, the size of this one. So, like, there's that. And the reason being is that it was typically a woman's weapon. Don't get me wrong, there are instances, there are reports and like notes in scrolls and such of warrior monks using it as well, like male monks, and other just men day to day using it. It was not very common as a man's weapon. It was a heck of a lot more common as a female weapon, if I remember correctly. Which, I mean, come on, my mind's not what it should be, so it I could very well be just blowing smoke. Um, but yeah, it was, if I remember right, it was predominantly a female weapon used in Japan to ward off male attackers when the men were away, like the men of the household were away at battle or something like that. And if you haven't had the chance to actually watch decent form and such with a true Naginata, go and look it up. It's a very graceful, very flowing style of weapon. It's great. um, so yeah. And lastly, my personal favorite, the one I spent $700 on, it's not even sharp, is my training katana. This is my Iaito. It is made of the actual blade is made out of zinc and aluminum alloy, so it is galvanized, meaning it will not rust. The wrapping here is made out of cotton. The interior white that you see is supposed to be same or rayskin, but this one is, I believe, made out of plastic. I know it's not real, and I'm very confident that it's made out of plastic, but I could be wrong. Oh, what's wrong with my diamonds there? They look just shaken. Oh. Huh. Anyway, it's probably just the way the shadows are. But yeah, I use this one about every week. You can probably see that there's little brass butterflies in there, right over there, and then again right over there. And like the scabbard or saya is a matte black finish, or matte black, or however you say it. I don't know, but anyway. Ah. And then the actual blade itself, which, as I said before, is this nice galvanized zinc aluminum alloy. And I use this for training about every week with the actual class, and then I try to train as much as I can during the week when I don't have class, but I don't always get to, which is really annoying. And yeah, those are my personal favorites for my knives and swords and such. I do plan to make a second video showing some of my other stuff, because I do have more display quality weapons. Um, I also have my uniform that I wear for Iaido. If I do show that though, I will not be showing my gi because it has the actual um, like the actual dojo on the gosh, I cannot remember the name of the name tag, like the actual Japanese name for it. I think it's a Nafuda or something like that, but it's got my name and the name of